Don't ignore the first letter of your name. They can predict this. What if the very first letter of your name held the blueprint of your soul? Not just a coincidence, not just something your parents liked the sound of, but a code, a hidden signal, tied to your energy, your personality, and even your destiny. It may sound strange at first, but across cultures, traditions, and spiritual systems, your name has always carried deeper meaning. From numerology to ancient Buddhism, from the mystics of the East to the psychologists of the West, the first letter of your name has been said to shape the way you see the world and the way the world sees you. And here's the eerie part. In many cases, it's right. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating secrets behind the first letter of your name. Each letter reveals a different energetic imprint. Whether you're an A, M, J, or Z, you'll find clues about your core tendencies, your hidden strengths, and even your biggest emotional challenges. By the end of this video, you'll understand why that letter found you and what it's trying to awaken inside you. So stay with us, because once you see what your name's first letter reveals, you won't be able to unsee it. Curious already? Drop your first letter in the comments and let's see who else shares your energy. Have you ever wondered why certain names just feel powerful? Or why people with the same initials often seem to share similar traits? It's not just your imagination. Your name isn't random, it's energy. It carries vibration, frequency, and intention. The first letter acts as a kind of energetic entry point into your personality. It's the spark, the first impression, the frequency you unconsciously broadcast into the world. In ancient spiritual practices, names were chosen with deep intention. In some Buddhist monasteries, a child's name would be selected based on their perceived karmic energy. In numerology, every letter has a number, and every number, a meaning. Even in modern psychology, studies show something called the name letter effect, a bias we carry toward letters in our name that influence our decisions without us even realizing it. Think about it. How many people do you know whose names seem to match their personalities too well? Coincidence or code? Let's go deeper. In Buddhism, names are tied to vibrations. A calming name brings peace. A sharp-sounding name brings focus or fire. The beginning of the name, the first sound, carries the strongest charge. It's like a tuning fork for your energetic presence. So when we talk about the first letter of your name, we're really talking about the first note of your life's symphony. If you're already thinking about someone else's name too, good. Their letter might explain a lot. Ready to see what your letter reveals? Let's start decoding. Let's begin with the first 5 letters of the alphabet. These are some of the most common initials in names across the world, and their energetic signatures are powerful, distinct, and deeply revealing. A, the leader. If your name starts with A, you carry the vibration of ambition, action, and authority. A is the alpha, the beginning. People with A names are often seen as pioneers or initiators. They want to take the lead, start new projects, and move forward quickly. But with that fire comes responsibility. The lesson of the A is to lead with integrity, not ego. In Buddhist thought, A symbolizes the first sound of breath. Ah, the essence of life. It carries the energy of creation. But when imbalanced, A personalities can struggle with control or impatience. Their path is learning. To inspire, not overpower. B. The nurturer. B is soft, curved, and comforting. People with B as their first letter often have a calming presence. They're the listeners, the supporters, the protectors of the emotional space around them. Their power lies not in being loud, but in being steady. Energetically, B relates to the heart chakra. It vibrates with compassion, but the shadow of B is emotional dependency or people-pleasing. Their journey, to give without losing themselves. C. The communicator. Creative, curious, and charismatic, C names are born storytellers. Whether it's with words, music, or presence, they have an ability to connect dots and share ideas in a way others can feel. In Eastern traditions, the sound C resonates with movement and change. People with this letter are often adaptable but sometimes scattered. Their gift is communication. but their lesson is discipline. If you're a C, your power grows when your mind has focus. D, the builder, grounded and determined. D names carry structure. They're often practical, loyal, and capable of great things when they trust their inner architecture. D is a stable letter, firm on the page like a foundation stone. But sometimes, D personalities fear change. They may cling to old patterns or resist risk. Their growth comes from learning to stay solid while allowing flexibility, like a tree, with strong roots and dancing branches. The seeker vibrates with exploration. These people are always reaching, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. They love new ideas, new people, new experiences. E is the letter of expansion. In Buddhism, curiosity is a form of beginner's mind, a precious mindset that keeps the soul young. But E-types can become restless or overthinkers. Their growth comes from grounding their mental flight into heart-centered action. Recognize yourself in one of these? Drop your letter in the comments. We're reading them all. The middle range of the alphabet holds some of the most emotionally complex and magnetically charged letters. People whose names begin with F through J often have layered personalities, quiet strengths, deep wells of emotion, and an unusual pull that draws. Others in F are the empath. If your name starts with F, you're likely sensitive to the unspoken. F names carry the vibration of feeling first. You walk into a room and sense the energy instantly. You're not always the loudest voice, but you often understand people better than they understand themselves. The Buddhist teaching of karuna, compassionate action, echoes in this letter. But the F path can be heavy. You may absorb others' pain or doubt your own worth. Your power lies in channeling empathy into creativity and knowing when to protect your own energy. G, the seeker of truth. G resonates with grounded inquiry. You want to understand how things really work, whether it's the human psyche or the universe itself. G people are thinkers, analysts, truth chasers. You're the person who goes deeper when everyone else is satisfied with the surface. This letter carries the energy of the third eye, intuitive logic. But be warned, G can fall into perfectionism or cynicism. Your journey is balancing head and heart, logic and love. H, the harmonizer. H brings balance. It stands like two pillars, with a bridge between, symbolizing connection. People with H names are often peacemakers. You're the glue in families, the stabilizer in teams. Harmony matters deeply to you. In Buddhist mandalas, symmetry represents the balanced self. But the shadow of H is avoidance. You may fear conflict even when it's necessary. Your evolution? Learning that true harmony sometimes requires honest disruption. I, the illuminator. I is the individual, the vertical line of identity and clarity. People whose names begin with I often shine with inner light. You may be introspective, idealistic, and highly spiritual. You want to live with purpose. In Sanskrit teachings, the I is linked to the soul's spark, the inner flame that seeks union with something greater. But I-types can also feel isolated. Their gift becomes a burden if not shared. Remember, your light was meant to be seen. J, the magnet. Charisma, energy, impact. J names often carry a powerful presence. Whether loud or subtle, they draw people in. You might be a natural leader, a performer, or simply someone people trust without knowing why. J symbolizes motion. It curves, it hooks, it moves. But J energy also brings responsibility. You have influence, use it with care. When aligned, J personalities uplift others simply by being themselves. Your path is to lead by being real. By the way, if you've seen your letter already, has it resonated with you? Comment below. Your insight might help someone else decode their own letter. These letters carry the energy of evolution. If your name begins with K through O, you might feel like you're always growing, always shedding layers. These letters often belong to people who carry both outer strength and inner depth, a rare combination. K, the catalyst. K is a spark. It's the energy of change makers and reformers, people who aren't afraid to question the system and shake things up. If your name starts with K, chances are you've never been one to blindly follow the rules. You carry the energy of transformation. In spiritual traditions, K represents karma, not in the punishment sense, but in the idea of conscious action. K people often feel they were born for a purpose, and when they find it, nothing can stop them. But until then, they may feel restless, even lost. Your challenge is patience. Your gift is vision. When you stop trying to control how things unfold, your impact becomes even more powerful. L, the lighthearted. Healer L is graceful and fluid. It moves like a dancer, and those with L names often bring lightness to heavy situations. You may be a natural comforter, someone whose presence makes others feel safe or inspired. Even your laughter has healing in it. L carries the energy of the heart chakra, love, openness, forgiveness. But here's the trap. L people sometimes hide their own pain beneath their smile. You uplift others so much you forget to check in on yourself. Your healing becomes unstoppable when you allow yourself to be held too. M. The mountain is steady, strong, purpose-driven. If your name starts with M, you likely have a quiet but unshakable force within you. You're the person others lean on, the one who gets things done without needing applause. Spiritually, M is the mantra, the sound of depth and grounding. But with that power comes a shadow, the pressure to always be the strong one. M people sometimes struggle with vulnerability. The truth is, your strength deepens when it bends. Let others see your heart beneath the armor. And the noble soul carries the vibration of compassion in motion. You might feel things deeply, but rather than sitting with emotion, you act. Whether it's protecting someone, defending a belief, or building a dream, you move with purpose. In Buddhist philosophy, noble truth is the beginning of awakening. And names often carry that energy of awakener, someone who lives with depth and insight. But that sensitivity can also bring anxiety or self-doubt. Your growth lies in trusting that your heart is not a weakness. It's a compass, and it's pointing you exactly where you need to go. O. The observer O is the full circle. People with O names often see the big picture. You may be philosophical, thoughtful, or slow to speak, but when you do, people listen. Your energy is centered, expansive, and deeply wise. In spiritual terms, O is the sacred circle, oneness, wholeness, unity. But O people can sometimes drift into detachment or overthinking. The challenge is to stay connected, not just to thoughts, but to experience. You were born to see the whole. Just don't forget to live inside the moment too. Drop a comment if any of this rings true for you, or if you've always sensed a quiet power in someone with one of these letters. You might be onto something. If your name starts with one of these letters, you likely carry a deep internal world. These are the names of big dreamers, soft revolutionaries, and people with quiet flames that never go out. You might not always be loud, but your presence speaks volumes. P. The purpose-driven 1P stands tall with a gentle curve. People with P names often hold a strong sense of purpose, even if they can't always put it into words. You may be driven by service, expression, or a spiritual calling that pulls at your core. P vibrates with potential, not just yours, but the potential you see in others. But the shadow of P is self-pressure. You may feel you have to prove something or achieve more than others expect. Let go of the weight. Your value isn't in what you do, it's in who you are. The questioner rare and unique. Q names are like wild cards. If your name starts with Q, chances are you've never fit into a box, and that's your power. You question norms, challenge expectations, and often blaze a path where no one else has gone. Spiritually, Q represents the quest, the sacred journey. But the shadow side is doubt. When you don't trust your instincts, you may spiral. Your path is to turn your questions inward, not to paralyze yourself with them, but to transform through them. R. The rooted dreamer is both sharp and soft, rooted in reality, but reaching for more. Our names are often realists with idealist hearts. You work hard, love hard, and care deeply. You might not be loud about your dreams, but they're there, burning in the background. In the Dharma, This is the path of the householder, the one who walks the spiritual path inside everyday life. But your fire can turn to frustration when you feel stuck or unseen. Just remember, slow progress is still sacred progress. L. The silent storm. There's a quiet power in S. People with S names are often kind, intuitive, and magnetic, but they rarely need to announce it. You might come off soft-spoken, but underneath that calm is a deep inner storm of ideas, desires, and visions. In ancient sound meditations, the S tone is used to calm the mind and sharpen awareness. But here's the thing. S people can bottle things up. You might struggle to ask for help or express what you really need. Your next level comes when you stop hiding your intensity and start honoring it. T. The torchbearer. T stands firm. Strong top, grounded base. People with T names are natural guides, whether they lead teams, families, or quiet revolutions within themselves. You likely have strong values, and when something matters to you, you don't let go. In Buddhist philosophy, the T sound is tied to the tongue, speaking truth. Your words have weight, but that same power can turn rigid if not tempered with flexibility. T people sometimes struggle with control or needing things their way. Your growth comes from learning when to hold the torch high and when to pass the flame to someone else. If you've made it this far and still haven't seen your letter, hang on. The final group is coming, and they're some of the most unique and spiritually charged letters of all. If your name begins with one of these final letters, you're likely someone who doesn't just live differently. You feel different too. These names often belong to visionaries, old souls, and people with a spiritual signature that sets them apart. Ooh. The unifier, U bends open like a bowl, ready to receive, to hold, to connect. If your name starts with U, you may be a natural mediator. You often seek to bring people together, to find harmony in chaos, to hold space for others. U is a letter of empathy and openness. In spiritual terms, it's associated with non-attachment, learning, to give without clinging. But you people can struggle with boundaries. You give so much, you sometimes forget to refill your own cup. Your power grows when you remember that your presence is enough, even without always fixing everything. The vision carrier. V is sharp, direct, and unmistakable. Names starting with V often belong to people who see things before others do. You might have a mind full of possibilities, innovative, unconventional, even a little rebellious. In spiritual geometry, the V shape is like an arrow, focused intention. But its shadow is perfectionism. You might feel like nothing you do is good enough, even when others see brilliance. The lesson of V is surrender. Trust that your vision has value, even in its raw, imperfect form. The wild one W is wide, open, and adventurous. People with W names often crave freedom. You may dislike routine and resist being boxed in. Your energy is expansive, playful, and contagious. In nature-based spirituality, W is associated with the wind, movement, change, breath. You're meant to flow. But W people sometimes run from discomfort, confusing freedom with avoidance. Your power activates when you root yourself without caging your spirit. X. The alchemist, rare and mysterious X, carries the energy of transformation. If your name begins with X, you might feel like your life path has never followed a straight line, and that's a good thing. You're an alchemist, someone who turns pain into power, chaos into clarity. X is the crossroads, the symbol of choice, of rebirth, but its energy can be intense. X people may struggle with identity, constantly reinventing themselves. Your growth is in embracing your layered self, not choosing one identity, but honoring all the phases that made you. I, the Yogi Y, stands tall but splits into openness at the top. This letter often belongs to those drawn to spiritual growth, inner wisdom, and reflective practices. If you're a Y, you likely crave meaning over material things. In Sanskrit, is the beginning of yoga, union, integration, wholeness. But your path isn't always easy. Y people can feel misunderstood or even alienated in a world that moves fast. Your strength? Depth. You're here to remind the world to slow down, and to look within. Z. The Zen Master Z is the final letter of the alphabet, and it carries the energy of completion, endings, and wisdom. People with Z names often have an old soul energy. You may have been different since childhood, more aware, more sensitive, more attuned to things others miss. In Buddhist tradition, Z symbolizes Zen, simplicity, presence, awareness. But Z personalities can struggle with grounding. Your mind may live in the clouds while your body longs for stability. The lesson? Balance the cosmic with the concrete. You're not here just to think deeply, you're here to live it. Now that you've seen the whole alphabet, do any other letters resonate with people close to you? Drop their initials in the comments and see what insights show up. Now that you've discovered the hidden energy behind your name's first letter, the real question is, what do you do with it? Understanding the vibration of your name is just the beginning. When you consciously work with that energy, rather than ignoring it, you start aligning with your authentic self. Here's how to start. Embrace your strengths. Don't dismiss them often. The qualities we take for granted are the very ones that define our energetic blueprint. If your letter carries compassion, like B or F, don't dismiss your sensitivity. It's a gift. If it holds vision, like V or J, stop hiding your ideas. Name energy works best when it's fully owned. Micro challenge. Write down 3 traits connected to your letter, and one way you'll lean into them this week. Watch the shadow side. Every energy has a light and a shadow. Are you over-controlling like a T, too self-critical like a G, avoiding vulnerability like an M? These patterns don't mean you're broken. They mean your energy is imbalanced. The key is awareness. The moment you see the pattern, you gain power over it. Try this. Ask yourself, what's the one emotional habit tied to my letter that's been holding me back? Use your letter as a daily anchor. Your name is more than a label, it's a mantra. Start using the first letter of your name as a symbol in your day. If you're an A, ask, where can I lead today? If you're an S, ask, where can I soften? If you're a Z, where can I bring peace? This tiny act of intention shifts how you show up, without forcing anything. Morning practice. Each morning, speak your name aloud, gently, and remind yourself of your core energy. Explore sound and frequency. Sound is one of the oldest spiritual technologies. In Buddhist chanting, each syllable holds power. Try repeating the first syllable of your name slowly, like a chant. Notice how it feels in your body. Does it calm you, energize you, reveal something? You don't need to be spiritual to feel it. Sound is vibration, and you are vibration too. Experiment. Say the first letter of your name 3 times aloud before sleep tonight. Let it become a frequency of presence. Learn from other letters. Your own letter tells part of your story, but the people around you carry different vibrations. If your partner is an R and you're a Q, you'll operate very differently. Knowing someone's energetic pattern helps you communicate, support, and grow together. Bonus tip. Make a list of the first letters of your closest relationships. What patterns do you see? Where do you clash or complement? Think about this for a moment. Your name was the first word spoken over your life. Before you had dreams, doubts, or direction, someone spoke that letter, and somehow it stuck. Somehow it fit. Not by accident, but by design. Whether you believe in destiny, energy, or the simple psychology of language, there's no denying this. The first letter of your name carries a vibration that follows you. It whispers to you. It nudges you in certain directions, mirrors your inner world, and sometimes reveals the very lesson your soul came here to learn. Now you've seen what that letter means. You've seen its light, its shadow, and the gifts it holds in your life. And you've also seen that you're not alone. There are thousands of others whose journeys begin with the same spark. So the next time someone asks your name, pause, feel the power in that first sound, and let It reminds you of who you are becoming, because you are not just a person with a name, you are a story in motion. And the first letter? That's the opening line. If this resonated with you, we'd love to hear your story in the comments. What's your letter? Did it feel accurate? Or maybe you discovered something new about someone close to you? Share it below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and explore more content like this. Because we're just getting started on this journey of inner discovery.